Konnichiwa, Japan fans. In today's show, we are going to look at the sales process and what is involved. So let's get going. This is the fourth year of the Sales Japan series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku, here in downtown Tokyo, chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, a best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be ready in 2021. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive COVID-19. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Monday is the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesday is the Presentation Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Touches in no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, we have the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Today, we are here with episode number 216. We are talking about, do you have an end-to-end sales process? All around the world, the same problem arises. People are given sales jobs, but no or very little training. Japan is the same, except here there is the fig leaf of OJT, or on-the-job training. This involves a mere light touch of taking the newbie to a couple of meetings, then turning them loose. Salespeople over time build up an approach to the sales meeting with the client. Very few read books on sales, pay to attend sales training, or watch sales trainer videos, which are free on social media. They just bumble along and finally cobble together something to put to the client. And it's usually crap. Being a bit harsh there, aren't you, Gregory? Actually, no. We train salespeople, and the quality of the salespeople we see in our classrooms are pretty good representative body across all industries and age brackets. There are those with no idea who are just pitch merchants plowing straight into their spiel on their product or service. An infinitesimally small percentage ask questions of the client, but these are basic questions, just enough to allow them to start ramming data points down the throat of the client. There is an end-to-end sales process that is a brilliant roadmap for salespeople. Different training companies will have similar maps, and each will have their own take on how to navigate that map. At least they will have a map, though. We might ask, if every sales training company has a map, why don't individual salespeople have maps too? Ignorance or arrogance tend to be the two clearest explanations. Either they have no clue or they have the wrong clue. I was a fan of Neil Rackham's SPIN model, S-P-I-N model, before I joined Dale Carnegie. I had read his book, but had never taken his training in person. This is probably the experience of that 1% of salespeople who actually buy and read books on sales. What opened my eyes was in-person sales training we received from the USA. Dave Stearns is the top sales trainer in Dale Carnegie, and he came to Tokyo to train us. I can still see that first session in my mind's eye. Dave started at the top left of the whiteboard, and then from top to bottom, left to right, he wrote out each step of the sales process from memory. He filled every inch of that whiteboard. I was sitting there thinking, wow, I couldn't do that. By the end of his training, though, we could all do it too, because we study the process and learn it thoroughly. Anyone can learn it, but you first need to realize there is a process that has an order, a flow, and multiple micro steps we need to be aware of. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in our Super Safe classroom. We do them live, online. We do them in Japanese and we do them in English. Today's show is sponsored by, on the 18th of December, in our professional leadership series, we're looking at planning. On the 22nd of January, also in that professional leadership series, we're doing Manager to Leader, what is required, and also another program, Stress Management. On the 29th of January, we're doing another in the professional leadership series on developing people's potential. Get my best-selling books. Japan Sales Mastery. This is the Bible for selling in Japan. And Japan Business Mastery. Now, both are available on Amazon. And my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be ready in 2021. Check out our website, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, we have over 1,000 for you there at Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out every Monday. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains industry on just one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Now, have any of my sales calls ever followed this flow? No. The clients always take us off on tangents, down sidetracks, and into dead-end alleys. The knowledge of the process flow is critical because we know where we need to get the client back to in order to advance the sale. The salesperson must control the sales meeting. If the client takes control of the meeting, you won't get the sale unless they don't need you at all and they are just there to place an order with any warm body who turns up. I like talking to people so I can be in sales is nonsense. Talking to people and persuading them to part with their cash are entirely different skill sets. With a thorough knowledge of the roadmap, we can keep the client on track. We can build the trust right at the start with a person who is a stranger to them, to whom we want them to give their money. We can ask permission to ask questions and uncover what they need. We can then identify the gap between where they are now and where they want to be. We can decide if that gap is either big enough or can be made to seem big enough to persuade them to take action with us right now. We will know how to introduce our solution so that it satisfies the buyer's logical needs, but also their emotional needs. How would we know their emotional needs? We follow a formula in the question design, which will flush that all-important information out so we can provide that context when presenting the solution. When they have objections or when they have pushback, we are never flustered or lost for words or persuasion power because we have a flow for that. We know how to ask for the order in a way that is going to be successful with Japanese buyers. The process is end-to-end, proven and successful. Much better than making it up as you go along, which is the case for almost every salesperson in Japan. If you or your company don't have a sales process that is embedded into the cells of your body, then stop kidding yourself and get one. You are going to go head-to-head with your competitors out there every day. Make sure they are bringing their stupid pitch fest to the contest And you are bringing your end-to-end sales process and then blow them out of the water. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please work on your karma and share this with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you have learned today. Go out there and survive. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy, committed to your success here in Nippon.